Welcome, CNG 212, to Veterans Day Monday. It's cold outside, so make sure you are staying warm. Had a few questions about the project that keep on recurring. So let me look at this first question. Are we to design a network topology with a topology tool and then use a VM to implement the design? You design the network topology however you want to, and then use a VM to implement the design. You can use whatever you want to implement the design. The topology can be, you can handwrite it, as far as I'm concerned. You can draw it out by hand if you want to, or you can use a tool available online. And I believe if you go to AWS, create an account, you can actually use some of their, I wouldn't say high-end, Microsoft Visio. I think I have it on this. Yeah, so I have it on my desktop. So I have Visio also, where you can create basically the topology that I created that you guys saw of one of my old projects. Make sure you, I would say, dedicate your time to listening to every video that probably says project in it. Probably play that recording again. Just to make sure you're pulling everything out of it. But yeah, network topology, any tool you want to implement anywhere you want to. So that was that one. I don't have office hours. I'm an online instructor only. If you want to spend a few minutes with me, we could WebEx. But I don't have office hours. That was another question. And thank you to the student for letting me use their project. Answered that one. I've seen, I wouldn't say a handful of these problems. I've seen a lot of these problems before, and I kind of remember the solutions to them. So if you do run into a problem when deploying your scenario, I probably have the solution in my head. And sometimes it could be fuzzy in my head. So I do try to remember as many issues as I can, but realize I can't remember every issue. I'm glad that when a student sent me their problem, I'm glad I kind of remember how to got through it, but I'm glad he was able to work around it. I'm glad to see project proposals coming up, and I'm going to show you this project proposal. Thank you, Aaron Jones, again, for letting me use your stuff as a demonstration. Aaron sent me this project proposal a while back, and this is how he decided to start implementing it. Basically, he laid out what he was going to do, and then he told me how he was going to do it. Didn't really give me any topology to look after, and I was like, okay, it's going to be interesting to see this. But then when he kind of sent me a huge file, let me see if I can find his topology. But what he did his topology on was Packet Tracer. It was easy to make the servers, and I'm trying to look for it as I'm talking. I don't see it, but basically he used Packet Tracer as his topology. That works. A topology is only showing me your network map. It's only going to be your stuff for that network map. And basically, your topology can change as you develop this project. When Aaron and I started going over his project, make sure, that you do your method of procedure, server failover, method of procedures, CNG 212, Aaron Jones, he has his introduction, his overview, his update information, important information, known issues, work details. Here's his topology right here. So he did a topology map once again, in Packet Tracer that had his IPs, what he was doing, so he has a visual representation of how his network should be working. And as you see, he's just working on this document for his known issues. If he had any known issues, you put them in here in your work detail. You put how you deployed cluster failover. If it did not work, you do not delete it. You simply cross it out. This is the assignment that I'm going to be looking at for grade. This and your presentation. So I can see exactly what you did or what you were working on, and probably shoot you just a little feedback back saying, hey, you know what? This is the problem I saw, and why don't you, you're probably going to turn these in at the end of the semester, but if something didn't work, I'll just shoot you back some feedback and say, you know what? I think if you just tweak this a little bit, you would have got your project to work. But excellent. This is exactly how your mop's supposed to look. This document could get up to 80 pages. Maybe not 80 pages. It could be a healthy sized document. Really, it could be a healthy sized document. And if you're just going to be really, let's go back over here. Give me a new page. Core 2016 DHCP shell script, and I'm just Googling on the other screen. Here's their topology, where is it? Where is what I'm looking for? So here we see the start of DHCP server. Rename the DHCP server a static IP address. It looks like this guy's going to be called net IP address, Ethernet, IPv4. So we're looking at, okay, so interface is going to be called Ethernet. Basically, I would highlight this whole thing, copy it, open up my document, go into work detail, and be like, copy, paste, enable editing, go down, work detail, enter, copy, paste, and then say, okay, well, what did I just do there? I configured a static IP address. That's the first thing I do, configured static IP address. And maybe I throw a heading 1 on there. This is how you configure a static IP address in PowerShell. Boom. Step 2, rename computer. So we want to say that server is DHCP1. Copy, paste. It's going to be this easy. Oops. Heading 2, heading 1, rename computer. And this is how I reach these goals of putting DHCP onto my core instance. And say we walk all the way through this thing, we do, I don't know, maybe we leave some stuff out, but we get all the way down to the bottom. Oh, look at that. Could be just as easy just to copy this whole thing at the bottom instead of one by one. But say we get all the way through here. Let me do that. We get all the way through here, and all of a sudden the server just crashes, won't turn back on. Maybe those were a very bad set of instructions. We do not delete, we'll leave that in there. And this shows me that, hey, you know what? I've tried this way. It doesn't work. So that's why I crossed it out. You're making directions for somebody else to follow and complete. Like I said, this is like a student. Basically, you're designing 3 labs, giving me the directions on how to complete the labs. And basically that's what it is. Yeah, I think we covered that pretty well. Feel free to add pictures. Aaron sent me a whole bunch of pictures. Thank you for those. But that's really what it's coming down to. I've been asked for a rubric. The rubric would be the project handout. If we go back down to, where did I put that project handout? It should be in this week's stuff. But use the project handout as a rubric. Do you have 3 things? We're on week 12. Week 13. You as a student. Week 13, it opens up as a Word document. I would use this as your rubric. This is a 3-week project. Do not take it lightly. Definitely don't wait till the last week to try to do all this implementation. It's going to be too much. Definitely spread it out. As you saw, Aaron started working on this very, very early in the course, just to make sure he reaches his goals. Make sure you have 3. Make sure you submit an outline. I received a few outlines last week and given feedback like I don't think I've redirected anybody so far. So far, it's been good feedback. I think it's definitely attainable. But make sure you have 3 different features going into your project. A network map. Once again, you choose. You're developing this material for me. I don't care where you get your network map from. You just develop it for me. Where you deploy it, wherever you want. It all depends on what you're doing and how you want to achieve it. This is a very open-ended project just because we're not in a face-to-face environment, and I don't know what each and every one of you have access to. So therefore, ways to achieve this can be done through many different points of attack. So very, very open-ended project. And why can't I get this? Okay. Start working on it now. Make sure to get the outline in. Your 3 goals. I'm going to do this, this, and this. Most of the stuff, as you read the book, goes hand in hand. Failover clustering. Backups. Hand in hand, stuff we learned that if you install one, install the others. Just a horizontal shift to get it to work. Should be cool. Let me know if you have any other questions. Once again, I'm not on any campus. I'm just online, guys. So feel free, or basically we can just come up with a WebEx video or a WebEx conference call. I have a camera somewhere around here, but I do have a Surface Pro that I just have to find the charger for. But we can get together, talk about this if you have any other questions. It's a fairly easy task. And when you guys ask for how are we supposed to do this, really I'm just kind of reflect that back and say, how do you want to do this? It's not for me to tell you how to complete this. It's up to you to say, I'm going to complete this like this. Once again, you're developing me 3 lab type scenarios where you're implementing something on a server and then telling me how you got there, and then showing me your network map alongside that. It could be hand-drawn network map, could be anything else. But you have to have, these are the requirements, you have to have 1 server, 1 client to make sure this works, whatever you have in place, And that's it.